Hi, thanks for joining me. So today we're going to do a pickups video. I was a little late on my last one. I'm a little bit early on this one, so they kind of cancel each other out. I guess with this, I'm just going to be kind of busy for the next couple weeks, so I wanted to go ahead and do this while I can. And I have a bunch of stuff here, so it seemed appropriate. You guys might remember it was probably a few weeks ago. I went to go visit a friend. I forget if I mentioned, but up in Canada. So I got to get out of the country, which is always nice to just get a little bit of a different perspective. And he had some stuff. As I was leaving, he was like, "Hey, do you want any of this stuff?" So I'm just getting rid of some things. And I was like, "Oh, let me see what you got." And he had some anime that I was actually pretty interested in. This box set here of Gaunt's. He had just a couple volumes of it. I guess this must have been one of the boxes that came with a single volume, so you'd be prompted to fill in the rest of them. And he had just volumes 7 and 8 here. So I went ahead and just picked those up from him. I figured once I got back I would go ahead and look for the rest of them. So I ended up going out to some of the places that I check for anime, and they actually had some on clearance. So here we've got, this is volumes 5 and 6. They were $5 each. So this is one of those things where I think they have a set of the whole thing for pretty cheap. So it really almost never makes sense to pick up the individual volumes for this kind of stuff. For a few bucks each, I think this. I just kind of wanted to have it from my friend. Since he'd kind of started down that road, I figured I'll pick that up from him and I'll have fun trying to finish it off. So I was really happy to find these. Funny story though, I was convinced for some reason that I had volumes 8 and 9. So in addition to 5 and 6, I picked up volume 7, and so I had a duplicate. So I went back to the store the very next day and was like, "Hey, I picked this one up, and I didn't mean to. Oh, can I exchange it?" And they're like, "Sure." So they had volume 9 there, and it wasn't there anymore. So I was really surprised, between in the afternoon one day and the morning, kind of in the morning the next day, it had sold. So I guess that was what happened. So I went ahead and picked up something else. I'd actually had a chance to look this up because I noticed they had it for kind of cheap, and I wasn't sure if it was something I was going to like or not, but I'd seen it around and I was interested in it. Parallel Duel. This is something that I think I'm really going to enjoy. This is another AIC production published by Pioneer. So I'm thinking the Tenchi Muyo team, it has that sort of feeling to it. The character designs and everything look really Tenchi Muyo. So I'm really, really excited to find something else. From those people. I tend to really like the stuff that they do, so I think I'm really going to enjoy this. I think it was a great deal on these for like $15 for the set of these. There's only one more in this set, so it's a 4 DVD set. I'll have to just grab that last one, and I should be good with those. While I was out, I stopped by a couple of Goodwills, and I did find something there. Blue Gender The Warriors. So you can see it was $3. I knew nothing about this. It was a full-length feature, it says, so I figured, if it's not like a volume 1 or 2 or 3 of something, it's hard to know with that sort of thing, like what you're getting into. This, I figure, if it's a feature, it's at least, gonna be a self-contained story. I have no idea what it is, if it, requires you having knowledge of, a TV series or OAV series or something to appreciate it. But I figured I'd take a chance on it, so I grabbed that one as well. And last anime pickup here, I got Oh My Goddess, Volume 1. This is the original OAV series. And this was one of those things where I was just thinking back to, what are some of my favorite things, especially from back in the day, that I liked a lot, that I don't have, because some of those things I just, I never picked up, and this is top of the list. I really loved this one. It's such a fun story, and I do a bad job of explaining these stories sometimes. This one is it's kind of that typical, like, it's almost a harem comedy, but it isn't really. The main character is just kind of a shy, dorky loser kind of guy, and he ends up making a wish to basically be like, the boyfriend of this goddess here, and his wish is granted. So he ends up living together with her, and that of course gets him wrapped up with a whole bunch of shenanigans with these other kind of celestial beings, and just it's sort of about him and them, and just sort of his life as he is a college student, and just sort of trying to negotiate this really awkward romance between him and this girl, who's like this beautiful goddess, and he's just this dorky, shy college student. It's fun. It's really cool, and I think this is a 6 OAV series. This has, I think, the first 3 OAVs. But I used to love this back in the day. I watched the heck out of it, and it's gone on to have a movie and maybe a couple movies and a TV series and tons of the manga. I haven't kept up with it over the years, but I definitely wanted to have that. So as you can imagine, with all of this anime, I ended up breaking my my rule with anime, and I guess breaking it in that, like, Oh My Goddess was sort of the thing that I was intending to buy. I actually bought both volumes of this OAV series, but the other one hasn't come yet. As far as I can tell, I've got kind of a no-show seller on half.com. That's the second one of these that I've had recently buying anime DVDs, so I don't know, maybe that's more common when I'm buying that particular thing for some reason. I don't know why. But a little bit annoyed about that, but hopefully that'll, either be coming, or I'll pick it up from somebody else who actually, wants to sell me the item. Yeah, so, just getting that Gantz started me down this road of buying a whole bunch of anime that I, hadn't really watched enough stuff to justify buying. So this added an obscene amount of volumes to watch to my list. I now have to watch, I think, like 16 or 18 more things to justify all this this stuff that I got. But I'm working on it. I think I actually am down to, so I only have, I don't know, 12 or 13 or 14 left or something. So I've knocked a few off the list, and I think going into a deficit and then getting back that's probably how it's going to go sometimes. So that's that. I'm looking forward to watching this new stuff that I got, and watching the stuff that I already have in order to catch up with that. Next, on to some game stuff here. I picked up something from a significant other of another YouTuber. It was interesting. This is completely because of Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. I'm sure you guys know who he is. And, he knows that I've been getting anime, and he basically just pointed me in the direction of a Facebook page where he saw one of his friends post that they were getting rid of some stuff. This is a very nice young lady. I don't remember if she said that I could use her name or not, but I'm not, so I'm not gonna. But she is the significant other of another YouTuber, Kay Huntington. I believe it's Keithy Huntington. I know that he's a good friend of Vampire Mike's. Honestly, I haven't checked out his channel that much, and I apologize. But I just took a look at it, and just looked over his videos and stuff. He seems like a really cool guy. He is definitely a fan of, is it Digital Pictures, I think, and sort of the Night Trap and that sort of thing, which is totally cool. I'm really on board with that. I watched or didn't watch. I played Night Trap back in the day on the Sega CD. I really enjoyed it, and I even saw him do a video that I think is on the Kickstarter for kickstarting a new version of Night Trap that is, sort of like higher definition, better video for some of the more modern stuff. So another Kickstarter thing, if you guys are interested in that. I haven't actually opened up my wallet for that one yet, but I'm seriously considering it. Anyway, definitely recommend you guys check out Keithy Huntington's channel. He seems like a cool guy. He doesn't just do game stuff. It seems like he's into music. He's into DVDs, like horror DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff like that. So like we all are. This isn't the only hobby that we have. So yeah, so definitely check it out. See if you're interested in his stuff. Thank you very much for passing this particular thing along to me. I basically contacted this young woman. I was like, I'm interested in this thing. I made an offer. She graciously accepted, sent this out to me immediately the next day. I've sort of shown it in the corner here. Amusement Park. This is an anime play game, a DVD-based game. So I'm really looking forward to playing this on my PlayStation 4, new PlayStation 4 game here. It was tough with these. It's not like I didn't notice these around when they were more contemporary. This is from like 2004. And I'm trying to think of like why I didn't get this kind of stuff more back then. I did get Ayori Aoshi kind of around that time. But I was focused on different things, I think that I'm definitely the kind of audience for this sort of stuff, and it kind of pains me to just be discovering it after the fact, but, that's how things go sometimes. This seems really cute. The main character, a highly motivated and passionate manager who had served the late owner, is abruptly asked to manage an unprofitable amusement park. With new part-timers, they begin working together to bring the park back to its former glory. It just sounds fantastic. Mostly because it reminds me of Welcome to Pia Carrot, and any sort of romantic adventure game that reminds me of Welcome to Pia Carrot has a distinct leg up. I'm really looking forward to checking this one out and just seeing what it's like. Because of this, it kind of flipped a switch, and I decided to check into some of the other Hiromeki releases, the other anime play DVDs. They didn't release all that many, so it's not. I don't think it's going to be all that hard for me to just like sort of pick away at and pick up some more of these. There are, of course, people on eBay charging $100 each for these and stuff like that, and if that's the only way to get them, that's fine. But I think if you keep your eyes open, you can get good deals on these. I picked these each up for like $10 each, pretty much. We've got Dragonia here, which this is in a cardboard case. This is very much like the Exodus Guilty releases, and it comes with like this extra thing. What they were doing just seems really interesting. This might make my video a little bit not safe for work, so feel free to skip like 10 seconds ahead. But this is the lovely Anime Girls DVD digital art book. So I don't know like what was up with like where these come from, if they were just from other games that they had, or if they were just like licensed some of the artists' work from some of the stuff they were doing, or whatnot. I don't know. 16 PC wallpapers, 10 screensavers for Windows. It's maybe some of this stuff, I don't know, it almost seems like it was more 2004, 2005, around when this stuff was coming out. Maybe it was more like 1995 kind of mentality or something. I don't know. But cool stuff nonetheless. And I also picked up Phantom of Inferno. I don't know anything about this. I feel like I've seen this kicking around. There might even be other versions of this. I don't know. But anyway, really excited to check those out, especially amusement parks. I think it looks really cute. And yeah, maybe I'll grab some more of those Hiromeki anime play games as time goes by here. Lastly, a couple more things I'm really excited about. I'm moving into some printed material. You guys remember a Kickstarter that I talked about not so long ago, definitely contributed to, and was so excited about. John, forgive me if I mess up your last name, Shitspaniak, is a writer. He's a games journalist. He writes for Hardcore Gaming 101 website. He writes for Retro Gamer magazine. I don't know if he still does, but he did at least. And he's written for a whole bunch of magazines and websites and stuff like that. He just seems like a really cool guy, really interested in quirky, so maybe more hardcore, more Japanese games. And so he did this Kickstarter for a book, traveling to Japan interviewing a whole bunch of Japanese game developers, and I got the book the other day. Just having this in my hand is so cool. The Untold History of Japanese Video Game Developers, or Game Developers, I guess. It's just amazing. This is a thick book. This is the real thing here. We've got two different covers, I guess, sort of front and back. I love this cover. I think it's really cool. I ended up getting the gold edition, which just was going to have like a different cover. So I don't know why I wanted to do that. I guess I just wanted to give a little extra money and get something that was going to be more like unique to the Kickstarter. And this is just amazing. Like I haven't read much of this yet, but I just started paging through it, and it's like, I mean, already here we have like Bishoujo games. There's like people that worked on Suikoden, and you've got like PC stuff and console stuff. Just so many developers. I'm not one of those people that, like, unless even things that I really like, I don't tend to focus on the people, on the developers themselves. And I don't think that it's out of like disrespect or anything. I just sometimes it's hard to get that information, and this is a way to get the information. This is a way to learn, not just about the people, but sort of the what it's like, just sort of from the horse's mouth of the stories and the history of like so many of these games and things that we love, and even some of the stuff that maybe like we didn't get to experience as much. I mean, there's so many things here. You've got like Keiji Inafune, an interview with him right in this. A lot of these people I don't know by their names, but you've got like Ryukushi 7 did like Higurashi and all that stuff. Just so much cool stuff from like every sort of company. You've got like Namco, Square Enix, Falcom, Sega, like just people from every part of the industry featured in here. I can't wait to read through this and really enjoy it. I didn't end up doing the Kickstarter for the version that came with the DVD, but there is a DVD of interviews that's subtitled, so you can follow along. And I ordered that as soon as I got this book. I was like, all right. I don't know why I didn't order it beforehand. You could have, and I just didn't. So anyway, so that's coming in the mail. I'll put some links so that you guys can check out the the stuff. This you're gonna be able to order this this book and the DVD. I would highly recommend that you guys do that, just to get a copy of this if you're interested in Japanese games like I am, and you don't live in Japan and read Japanese natively. Even if you do, I mean, there's I think there's information in here that hasn't been covered in in Japanese language resources. So just an amazing thing. I'm so proud of John for going over there and doing this and following his passion and just contributing something so valuable to video gaming. Very excited about that. And I also got some more printed materials here. A very good deal on eBay. I've been looking out ever since I looked it up. It was in October of 2012 when I picked up a set of demo discs for the Dreamcast. This was ones that came with the official Dreamcast magazine here in North America. I'd had a couple, because my friend had a couple issues of the magazine, and he'd given those to me, which was really cool. But I was like, I'd like the whole set of them. I've got the whole set of North American games, all the All-Stars editions, and I was like, I might as well just have the magazine, all the demo discs. I figured maybe I would get all the magazines. I was kind of on the fence. So I picked up a set that had not all of the volumes. It was missing one, the first one actually. And the reason why I got that was because I figured, well, what are my chances that somebody's going to be selling, the second or third volume or whichever one was missing from that set separately, versus selling the first one separately. I figured, people are, if somebody has the issue 1 of the magazine and the disc that came with it, they're going to sell that on eBay. Maybe they'll charge a little extra for it, but I figured, what the heck, I'll get that separately. It's been like 2 years, and I've never seen this disc show up before. So I started to get a little more serious about it. I put in followed some searches on eBay that were more specific, really specific to this thing. And the most amazing auction showed up. It was all of the magazines, all of the demo discs, and it was like about $10 per thing to starting bid. So I will admit I sniped it, but so did everybody else, and a few other people did. But it was a great deal. They were asking like $10 per. So it was about $120. There were 12 issues that ever came out. It was, I guess, like every 2 months you had for 2 years 6 issues each year. Anyway, I won it for like about $160, which I forget what that is per magazine, but $11, $12 per magazine with the discs. It was great. I mean, you almost spent that much when you bought these new. They were like $8 each, US. So just awesome. And anyway, this is the disc I was missing. Another thing with collecting and just collecting this kind of stuff, like, information is really valuable. It's hard to find good info. I'll try to put a link down below that kind of talks about what these all are, but I'm pretty sure that this one came with this magazine. This is the first magazine, and this, because they make a big deal that these were going to come with the GD-ROMs, and this isn't a GD-ROM, it's a CD-ROM, I believe. It could be a DVD, but no, it says PC only, CD-ROM. And so it has like movies of 29 Sega Dreamcast games. I'm excited about checking these out too, the demo discs and this. I've been reading the magazines. I read this whole issue, and it's tough with the printed material too, because you want to treat it well, I mean, I feel a little bit bad just sort of putting my grubby hands on this and reading through it. It's gonna be taking its toll on these magazines for me to even do that. But and you can see, I'm trying to keep them nice. I have them in. I think just having collected comic books at all, it for me at least, it sort of informs the way that I try to collect and preserve my games and my gaming related materials. So I just have like a magazine backer here. These are actually in. It's hard to find a bag really to put these in, because they're not magazine sized. This is BCW's book bags, and these are bigger than even like the large size magazine bags. They're also like stupid too. I've never seen anything that does this like this. They are resealable, but the reseal strip is on the bag, not on the flap. I've never, with anything, like, you put the tape on the flap and put it over, or, like, the strip is on the flap and you just stick it over and stick it on. So if you have something that's too short for this, it's just dumb. But anyway, so I just used some tape and taped this over. And the main thing is that this, none of the other bags were wide enough. These magazines are sort of extra wide. So these are wide enough, there's a little extra room, but it fits in there well. So I'm just enjoying trying to, go back in time, put myself back into the shoes of somebody who, doesn't have the Dreamcast yet, or is interested in checking out like what stuff is gonna come up for it, and just sort of re-experiencing the anticipation and the disappointment, especially of some of these things that didn't come out. I wasn't thinking about it, but this is a great resource for finding out about Dreamcast games that were never released. So much stuff, even just in the first, I read the first magazine and I'm working my way through the second right now. Even just in those 2 issues, I'm finding tons of games that were talked about and never came out for the Dreamcast. You guys might know about the Half-Life. There was a version of Half-Life that was made for the Dreamcast. As far as I know, it was done and never released. I mean, I have the game guide for it that mentions the Dreamcast version, which never came out. But did you know that there was a Planet of the Apes game for the Dreamcast? that was from like Warner Brothers Interactive. There was a whole Castlevania game from Konami. It looks like they were really far along on. There's a whole bunch of screenshots. There's like a whole like preview article here in I think the second volume of the magazine about it. Crazy stuff. Some of this stuff I had no idea about. You guys remember me talking about Geist Force, which I got in a couple videos back. So I think that's just another part of the melancholy of the story of the Dreamcast, is just all these things that we didn't get to check out on the system. But anyway, I'm gonna really be having fun reading through those here over the coming weeks, and just thinking about what could have been on that. So those are my pickups. I hope that this was enjoyable. I hope you'll join me again for more video game and anime related videos. Thanks so much for watching.